Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to start exploring the graphs of quadratic functions, and they're called parabolas. The parabola is the shape, but the functions are quadratic, which is all the things that we've been studying in this unit, those x squared type functions. Now, with lines, we had key features. We had things like your slope and your y-intercept, and with parabolas or quadratic functions, we have the same key features. We have y-intercepts, we have x-intercepts, and in particular in this lesson, we're going to focus very closely on the axis of symmetry, the vertex, and the end behavior, and I'm going to talk about what all those things are. So let's start with a graph so that we can see what these things look like. What I want you to notice about a parabola is that it's symmetrical, okay? There's a line that I could draw right down the middle of it that sort of divides the parabola in half. If I were to draw that line, I would probably put it right here. I think you would too. Well, that line is actually called the axis of symmetry. And it literally means the line where it's symmetrical. So there's your axis of symmetry. Now, since it's a vertical line, it gets the equation x equals and then whatever number. So in this case, it would be x equals 1. That's our axis of symmetry. Our vertex is also known as the turning point, so that's another name for it, and it's where the parabola switches direction, right there. So that's going to be your vertex, and we would classify it as a minimum or a maximum. Now, in this case, it's at the bottom of the parabola, so we would classify this one as a minimum. This would be a minimum. And you could put the coordinates if you wanted to. So in this case, the coordinates are 1, -4. So that's our vertex. And your x-intercepts are going to be where it crosses the x-axis. We've talked about those before. And then your y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. And then the last thing I want to talk about is end behavior. End behavior is, what does the parabola do? Does it open upwards or does it open downwards? So if we were to follow this out to its ends, which it doesn't have any, it's got arrows, you would say that this opens upwards. That's called your end behavior. Okay, let's look at this other one. I'll go through it a little bit quicker this time. My axis of symmetry is where the parabola gets split in half. So there's my axis of symmetry. Its equation in this case is x equals -1. My vertex right up here at the top, that's going to be, in this case, it's at the top of the parabola. So I would classify it as a maximum. And its coordinates in this case are -1, 4. We could identify all our intercepts. I'm not going to worry about that for right now. And we would say that this one opens downwards. So there's all the information that we can get actually off a graph. But we can get this information without a graph too. We could actually get this information just from the equation itself. I'm not exactly sure why this one is putting both equations on the same side, so let me just fix that really quick. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need to get my quadratic into standard form, which it is, which basically is that ax squared plus bx plus c. I need to get it in that form. And then I just need to identify, in this case, I only need to identify a and b. So in this case, a is 1, which is the number in front of x squared, and in this case, b is -8. And the directions say we're going to calculate the axis symmetry, we're going to determine if the vertex is a minimum or maximum, and describe our end behavior. Okay, so to get the axis of symmetry from just the equation, we actually have a formula. Our axis of symmetry, AOS for short, is x equals -b over 2a. That's our formula, and all I have to do is plug in b and a. So in this case, b is -8, so I've got -8 over 2 times a, which is 1. And then if I put all this into my calculator and simplify it, -8 is +8, and +8 divided by 2 is 4. So the equation of my axis of symmetry would be x equals 4. Now to determine if the vertex is a minimum or a maximum and to describe the end behavior, I only need to look at A. In this case, A is a positive number. It's +1. When A is positive, that means our parabola is going to be opening upwards. So what does that tell us? That tells us that the vertex is going to be at the bottom. So my vertex is going to be a minimum, and this is going to open upward. I get that information from the fact that A is positive. Let's take a look at this other one. This one is not in standard form, so I need to put it in standard form. So I need to do a little algebra here. I need to distribute, and I get f of x equals -3x squared plus 3 plus 7x. And then let me rearrange this so that it's ax squared plus bx plus c. So I've got -3x squared plus 7x plus 3. Okay, now I can go to work. So my a in this case is -3, and my b in this case is 7. Axis of symmetry, x equals -b over 2a. My b is 7. My a is -3. So this is going to be -7 over -6, which is +7/6. Negative over negative is positive. Now in this case, my a is negative, -3. When a is negative, my parabola opens downwards. So what does that tell us? That tells us that my vertex is at the top now, so it's a maximum. And then my parabola, my end behavior is that this opens downwards. So I can get all this information just from the equation without even looking at a graph. All right. You can even figure stuff out without having the equation or the graph. For example, let's take a look here. This says, if possible, find the equation for the axis of symmetry for the graph of quadratic function with the given pair of coordinates. So what this is saying is that if these two coordinates are on the parabola, would we be able to determine the axis of symmetry? Well, let's plot them and see. We'll do this one in red. So 2, 7 is going to be right here, and 8, 7 is going to be right here. Since I know that parabolas are symmetric, I now know that the axis of symmetry is going to be halfway between these 2 points to make it symmetrical. So that must mean that my axis of symmetry is right here. There's my axis of symmetry for that one, because it's halfway between the points. So in this case, yes, I can figure out my axis of symmetry. It's x equals 5, halfway between those 2 points. Let's do this other one in green. -4, 1 is going to be right here, and -1, 6 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is going to be right here. These 2 points are not on the same y value. Okay, one is down here and one is up here. In that case, I don't know what the axis of symmetry is. It's too hard to tell. So there's not enough information here. And finally, we can actually, given just a couple of points, we can actually complete an entire graph and tell you stuff about it. Let me get this out of the way. It says the point -2, 9 is the vertex of a graph of the quadratic function. -2, 9. -2, 9 is going to be right up here. That's going to be our vertex. And then it says the point negative 4, 5 is also on the graph. And it tells us that 1, 0 is also on the graph. And then it wants us to tell us a bunch of information. Well, as you may or may not have figured out by now, the vertex actually sits on the axis of symmetry. So that means that our axis of symmetry goes right through the vertex, and that's always true. The axis of symmetry goes right through the vertex every time. So now I know that my axis of symmetry is x equals negative 2. Now, using my axis of symmetry, I can actually fill in the rest of these points. If this is my mirror image, then that means this point has a match directly on the other side. So that means there's a point right there. And same thing with this one. This one must have a match balanced on the other side. So this one must have a point right here because they got to have matches. And now I can actually complete my parabola. It's going to look something like this. And I did that all because I understand that the axis of symmetry divides the thing in half. So what else can I tell you now? I can tell you that it opens downwards. I can tell you that my y-intercept, that's where it crosses the y-axis. I put it in yellow. So that's going to be 0, 5. And my x-intercepts are where it crosses the x-axis. So one of them is 1, 0, and the other one is negative 5, 0. Here's my y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis, and here are my x-intercepts. So there's a lot there. I gave you some practice to work on this, but the bottom line is you can get a lot of information without being given a lot of information about quadratics just by understanding that they're symmetrical.